Playing Talk. I am Noranok, and this here is Shadowhawk.
Hello.
We got some good news and some stupid news, and then some horrific news with,
All right, let's just start from the worst and then get to the better one, because I prefer just doing it in that order.
Yeah, just rip it out like a band-aid, no?
Yeah, sure.
Some real life issues. You know what's going on with the wildfires back in California than Oregon.
Yeah, I was reading about that. Some people decided to do a stupid gender reveal party and it set a fire. Reveal party and it set a fire. Reveal.
Damn it. Sorry, I was. Wait, what were you saying? I actually got the little.
I said.
I got the stream played up on audio loop thing. Sorry. Was making sure my stream works fine.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm saying I did read up on that, where some people were doing some gender reveal party and then decided to use explosives for it because
somebody had to be dumb. Because somebody thought it was a good idea, just like, hey, let's put out some explosives that we have no training, no knowledge whatsoever in. Because the fuck were you thinking, whoever? Oh god.
Like, that money you used on explosives could have been used for so many different things, though, and certainly a lot better ideas.
Even porn.
I only trust whom I have to trust.
Yeah, basically.
Let's keep it at that.
So, alright, that's in. Any other bad news before we get to the good stuff?
More about the stupid stuff, because some people got worked up over,
the Daisy Ridley interview.
Yeah, where at one point they considered about making her related to Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's it.
Which again always makes me think it's so stupid, because it's like, have you ever looked at behind-the-scenes stuff on movies ever? Like, I can't really think of a movie off the top of my head that didn't often have where people tossed around an idea before they finally settled into it.
And even during production too, it's like, maybe this is
again, like, there are two that always come to mind though as being radically different. The first one that comes to mind is Mass Effect 3. Like, originally that was going to have the Elusive Man turn into a very Reaperish monster. I get like sort of things of like, okay, maybe something like Saren did for that, and then they ended up switching it entirely because they thought that it didn't really fit his character.
Yep.
Or MGS4 in a similar manner. Originally, Snake and Otacon were going to be executed at the UN for their anti-Metal Gear activities, and then because the writers at Kojima gave him a lot of pushback for that, so he made three separate endings.
And the rest of his writer crew revolted against his idea.
I didn't read them doing that, just that they were very much against the idea.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, fuck no, we're not doing that.
And you learned this on TV tropes?
Yep.
I didn't know they reported on stuff like that. But, yeah, it's just stuff like that, though. Or, like, heck, even the original Star Wars went through the same thing. I mean, Luke was originally a 60-year-old general in that one, and Han was an alien.
Or at one point, Luke was female.
There was that too. And again, I find it very strange for people who are fans of this series, where even if it was true that there was no plan in place for any of this, you love a series that's always never really planned its stuff out massively. So it's like, why does this, like, fucking get your panties in a twist, but none of the prior instances do that?
Because it's recent, and...
Because again, it reminds me of that thing, though, which is basically because these people have this idea that the MCU strongly, like, plans out everything in advance, when it's like, revelation for you guys, even Marvel doesn't do that shit.
I said that in the Norris Gaming Discord chats. Like,
I just didn't want to look at it because honestly, I'm just fed up with the discourse, and unless it's you or some close friends, I really don't want to talk with it with other people. So I stood out of it. But yeah, it's the same thing with that. No, at most, the only thing Marvel does when they plan out is what characters will be getting certain movies. And sure, they may have things like we get an Avengers film every 3 years. 2012 for Avengers 1, 2015, I believe it was for Age of Ultron, and then 2018 for that. So it's like, yeah, they have like overall broad strokes, like they know when they'll release what movies, but the actual plots don't get hashed out until the actual thing. Like for that, like it at least also is because they give themselves just enough wiggle room so that not to do so. Like how even though Wakanda was mentioned in Age of Ultron, we didn't actually see it until Black Panther 3 years later. So are there some plans in place? Sure, but there are also other things that clearly they were not planning on, though, or were just kind of made up on the fly with it. Like the instance of Thor's hammer. Like the whole thing of Ragnarok was that he didn't really need it, and the power was more internal for him. And his first thing when he ends up facing Thanos is, "I need a new hammer."
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and recently.
I mean, it doesn't affect. Infinity War doing that doesn't affect my enjoyment of either film. But again, it's just like, yeah, because they're not going to get everything right with it. So it's like, yeah, Marvel, they don't even do that shit, even though they love to often give.
And Chadwick Boseman. He
I know from his.
He passed. He died late last month. When from colon cancer.
And again, it's just like to think that that guy ended up filming several very physically demanding action movies back to back and was able to knock that stuff out while doing treatments. It's like, shit, dude was like clearly like a fucking warrior. There's nothing to, there's no word that can adequately describe that.
Yeah, and other films.
Yeah, and also that, like, such as Defy Bloods, 21 Bridges, and he has one last one that's coming out on Netflix later this year, which I will definitely check out when that thing gets a release date.
I cried when I.
Now that whole line of, and as you can see, I am not dead, it now takes a whole different context now.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I sound really, really sad. It's just that I cried not long.
No, it's understood. Like, I mean, it's just shit, though. No one would have expected that he would, especially when this was something that he clearly kept really close to the chest. When not even his co-stars or even Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, didn't even have the slightest clue that he had it. Which is weird, because you think of all people he would have known, so that way he could be like, hey, I need to be away for treatments and such. So it's like the only people that knew were the medical workers who worked on him, and basically his wife, and probably some number of very close family members.
Yeah, and
so it's like the fact that that was not leaked, especially to someone, especially TMZ not getting onto it, that's like really freaking impressive.
It's.
Though in the case of the medical workers, like especially them, because
I just didn't know what to say. It's just that it was so sudden, and he lost someone really good, a good person.
Like he was just a great actor, and apparently he was even going to retire from acting for a bit to do a bunch of screenwriting, to at least try to do stuff for that for other films. So it just really sucks we'll never be able to see what his stuff would have looked like. I mean, I'm confident it would have been great, and yeah, I honestly consider him the modern times, like what Christopher Reeve did with Superman. He did the same with Black Panther. Even more impressive, considering that Black Panther was a largely unknown character to most people prior to the MCU inclusion. Yeah. So especially giving him such an iconic performance and so great of it is definitely just like nothing short of amazing.
Yeah. How bad did the news hit you when you found about it back in back?
At first, again, like with these things, I thought someone was just throwing a sick joke on it, because I thought to myself, like, no, he can't be dead. Like, I was like, the guy's like very young.
I was like, no fucking way.
Like, I just thought was that. I'm just like, no way he's dead. Like, he can't be. And then I just saw that no, it was from his official, like when you linked his Twitter profile, because I was at work. And so I kind of only just briefly saw the message, and I'm like, I thought to myself, like, why are you linking to me his Twitter, like, saying that he has it? And then I clicked on it, and it's like, oh, he's dead. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah. Like, fuck.
What happens forward with Black Panther, that's up to Marvel Studios. I really cannot... Out of respect.
I think that it's just not a question we should be asking, because it's just kind of insensitive with it.
Yes.
Like how Screen Rant, I believe, did it. Like, I was like, guys, come on, poor taste.
Yes, that exactly it. It's not up to us to suggest what they would do next. That's ultimately up to them. Whatever they do next, we'll just have to go for it.
At least it's just good, though, that at least that he was, in fact, a really great person also behind the scenes, though. Because, like, definitely what sucks really badly when you learn of an actor who's been in movies you like is definitely when it turns out that they were a ginormous piece of shit. I mean, Kevin Spacey. It's just like when that shit happens. So, like, it's just really good that apparently he was even better behind the scenes, like, especially with going to kids in, like, St. Jude hospitals, even though he was battling his own cancer, was more than happy to put a giant smile on their faces, like, even though he was aware of that, or especially when I saw that surfaced interview where he was talking about two kids who were fighting cancer, like, really trying to see the movie, but sadly passing away before it came out. And especially with, like, how hard it hurt, because I just thought, if I saw that before, I would have thought, okay, he's just expressing, like, general human empathy. But it's like, oh, no. It goes, like, really beyond that.
Yeah, it's... I'm sorry if I'm rather sound. It's just that it hits me just as hard as, you know, with Carrie Fisher. I'm trying not to cry.
You still there?
Yeah, yeah, I am. I just.
Oh no, it's good. If you need to cry, yeah, you could definitely do so.
Yeah, it's just that it hit me just as hard when Carrie Fisher passed away all these years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it's just, again, seeing from all that, and it sort of definitely brought up other talking points that, because I was watching a podcast that Troy Baker had with Alana Pierce and two other individuals, where he was often talking about, especially that relating his experiences, because he admitted that for the longest time, like, death was something he was, like, extremely scared of. Like, it would even paralyze him at times, just even having the remote thinking about it.
Yeah.
And, like, he would actually, like, sort of smoke a pack of cigarettes every day to calm him down with it. And especially when he just read up more, when he was reading up more on the topic, especially with his son, because he kept thinking, like, I'm going to be out of his life longer than I was in it. Referring to, like, his own potential passing. And so saying, like, with it just taught him to essentially cherish more of those moments with it. And I kind of think, though, that with Boseman, it may have been largely the same thing with him. Just largely...
I don't blame Troy Baker for just being honest about being afraid of death. He wouldn't be.
Body shield here.
So it's like, I just definitely... I just at least say we should just be able to at least cherish what Boseman was able to bring with us before his death, though, because what he did was nothing short of extraordinary, and definitely is something that'll be a great inspiration, especially for a lot of black actors that would to come in the future.
Thanks.
Because, man, that guy was definitely the real deal.
Yeah.
Happy to help, friend.
Anyway, now that's out of the way, just... Okay, I've started really surprised that the Avengers game that just, like, came out earlier this month,
I've been hearing it's apparently really, really good.
Yeah, I sorry for the lack of polish, but it happens.
Opening fire on
Yeah.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
enemy taken
Yes,
down.
yes, still, but it's like...
I've been
When I first heard about that game, people were not happy with it because of how weird the characters look.
I'm down. Hostile right here.
But I was definitely glad to hear that. I may probably buy it sometime in the future. It's just that, like, it's just mainly because my finances have been pulled up, because this month, at least the plan is to get a new car, and then next month is a whole lot of saving, and as well as with some college grant money, using all of it, to basically get myself a 4K TV, as well as also to buy myself, well, it's going to be the PS5, and I still have plans for that, but also, especially during the Xbox All Access plan.
Oh yeah, I heard really good things about that. That is
definitely, I'm going to be getting the All Access program, because, like, $35 a month for 2 years, and then you are able to have this console, and it comes with Game Pass, which I already have, so it's honestly, like, sort of that part's kind of a no deal for me, because I already own it, the Ultimate Edition. So it's just like, man, having that kind of stellar deal is just something I couldn't ask better for. And also that all games that are playable on the Xbox One are also playable.
Oh,
on the
I was
Series
just
X.
wondering about that. That is so cool.
Like all of them. So the original Xbox games, the 360 games, and all Xbox One games are able to be played on both the Series S and Series X.
I thought it was a hell of a release. That I was a little worried. It's like, would I miss out on anything if I say
Next ring's far. Hope you like exercise.
you know, and so on Facebook you told me that so it costs about $35 total for the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, $25 for the Series S and $35 for the X. I'm going with the X just because it's a more powerful console and also because it's only $10 more in the monthly payments. So that's why for me I was just like, yeah, I'm totally fine with just getting that.
Recharging shields.
Yeah,
so definitely I'm just super excited for that, especially because pre-orders go up on, apparently it's at the 22nd, so I will definitely make sure that my local retailer, or at least do my best to make sure that I can go snag myself a copy of it, though, because especially being able to do that, I would basically have everything that I could possibly need.
Oh yeah, same. What was to talk about? Hang on, I gotta.
And also that EA Access is now also being included with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and also for PC users.
Oh, so does that mean that I'll get a notification that I don't need to spend $5 on EA Play now?
Yeah, EA Play though. Yeah, I always say Access because that's the old name though, and because EA Play always makes me think of the event that they do. But regardless, it's just like, yeah, doing that because, especially if that's going to be included, then I could just cancel the EA Play $5 subscription I have, because also it'll still come with the same benefits, like you still get discounts on EA-related games, you also still have access to their catalog, you still get the 10 hours, advanced trial so that you can go and play the game ahead of time. So it's like, yeah, I definitely am more than happy to just go and do that.
I was like, I am so in.
10 seconds.
So am I. I am so down for this. Especially because I want this to succeed. So, like, I'm glad I already subscribed to Ultimate once they even made that first wave of announcements on during the game press. The press that they were doing with Halo Infinite and such. So it's like, yeah, this is definitely a massive freaking value, and I'm looking forward to it. And then also, because this year I'll be owning the PS5 as well, so I can be able to prep for the exclusives. Unfortunately, the PS5 doesn't really seem to have much backwards compatibility.
Oh, that sucks. Why didn't they?
I think because mainly with PlayStation, they are kind of, well, very old-minded in how they approach things, so it's looking like maybe only certain PS4 games will be backwards compatible, at least as far as I understand it. But basically PS3 and before, though, is something you won't be able to do, which is definitely a shame, though, because backwards compatibility is always something I'd like having, so that if I have older games, I could just go and play them. Especially because I always wanted to play the Metal Gear Solid collection that was done on the PS3, and I'm hoping maybe it was brought to 4, again, hoping so, which basically gave Metal Gear Solids 1 through 4, as well as also Peace Walker, mainly just for the 4 inclusion, but also 1, because those were games I really loved playing.
Ooh, yeah.
And I just, especially in 4, I never got to finish it, because I never owned the game or a PS3.
And before I kind of forgot what I'm going to say.
Replicator incoming, friends.
There was a game. Oh, my brother has gotten us. Has meet him. Kingdoms of the Amalur: Re-Reckoning. Surprisingly, I have expected not to have the Shepard armor set because it was on Master's EA and EA and Bioware and
Target spotted.
right there.
A champion just fell. must not be very good. Hostile spotted.
EA and Bioware, and Kingdoms Amalur Reckoning was actually owned by EA at one point, but also I believe it belonged to THQ Nordic. And lo and behold,
And they're hitting me.
the Shepherd armor's in there. Not the army tools, no, not the army blades, but the armor is in there. Just thought it would be a little surprise. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just like, I think for this holiday season, it wouldn't surprise me if overall the Xbox gets a warmer reception, mainly because the only launch title that at least I know of that PlayStation 5 will be having is the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, whereas their other ones are due more to be released next year or in 2022. So I think also, at least within the holiday span, Xbox is just going to seem as better because of the extra value you get for it.
Yeah.
Because like now you'll have 200 games to be able to play on the Game Pass, which is more than I could ever possibly need. And also because at least with that, I don't have to worry about new games to play as new games to buy as well. Because like often with the console, it's always twofold. There's the console itself, and then you need at least a few games to be able to support it. Like when I bought my Xbox One, where when I got it,
hey,
the
Pika,
only
how's
two
it going?
games I got for it.
Pika's here. Hey, how's it going, Pika? Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
You're kind of like going in and out in your speech.
Yeah, partially because of a little bit of fatigue, and also I'm just a little when we brought up Eric Bossman. It's
Yeah. So yeah, that's just basically what it is. For me anyway. I remember the two games I got was MGS5 because that was released actually the day before I actually set up the Xbox One. And then Fallout 4 as well, though. Mainly Fallout 4 was what pushed me to get an Xbox One, because I really wanted to go and get it because of how great it looked, and at least I'm glad that it was as great as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, I got the expansion for The Sims 4 where my Sims could go to Batu, the place that was from Disneyland. I had a little bit.
Yeah.
I had quite a bit of fun with it. I even got one of my Sims get be force slowed, and the other being mind tricked by Ray, force slows Kylo Ren.
That's at least good though. That at least you're enjoying it though. Again, I haven't looked up anything there because honestly, when it comes to what the reception is for anything Star Wars, I pretty much completely tune out of it. Unless I hear it from you, I just don't hear it at all.
I look at most of the reviews, and they seem to be pretty happy with it. I still feel like the users,
which is kind of funny because I remember the flack that just the very idea of an expansion related to that was, and it was just like, yeah. So I just again always tune myself out with it. Like, once The Mandalorian Season 2 drops, I'm staying off social media for the rest of the year because I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, looking forward to Mandalorian as well. And
I'm just at least glad they got filming done before the pandemic hit.
Yep. Oh, speaking of shows and movies, the Mulan live-action remake. Dear God.
Yeah,
movies, games, stuff like that. They really, they hardly make me angry.
One of those experiences where you'll sit back and
James
say,
Gunn
"Oh, yeah,
being fired
I
like
remember
a
that."
few years ago, and Disney rehiring him, and
It's only over when it's over.
and everything that was involved with the Mulan remake, including which is essentially the Chinese government's involvement in that.
Introducing your champion.
Wasn't aware
really
of that, but primarily I saw the outrage, especially among Chinese audiences and people who are there either of diaspora or of who are actually living there, was primarily that it was just highly westernized though in a lot of it. So for them, it just often felt very insulting to them in a lot of ways. Because like when Daniel Zug, who is a games reporter in Asia, where he basically often reports, especially on Chinese market trends, but obviously he reports on a lot of Western ones as well, where he even showed like on reliable movie websites for Chinese audiences, it was a 4 out of 10 on average.
How do they rate the other movies?
I don't know about the other one, but at least from what I see, people who were from mainland China didn't so much really like the animated version either, but I imagine they liked it probably a bit better than this one, because at least from what I see, it was more of just like I think though it's kind of in poor taste, but whatever. Whereas in the case of this one, it seems more like wow, this thing really completely missed the point of the story.
Ooh, someone got the party started.
So it's definitely was something that was not the most well received, basically, with it. And honestly, it's just that I just wasn't gonna watch it because of the actress though, who was basically putting support of
support the police force in Hong Kong.
Yeah, no.
It's like seriously, it's not a good thing to express. Especially at this time.
Round 2. Hold fast, fly fighter.
I mean, just from the whole, so basically it just made me not really want to, it just made me just go like, yeah, I'm not going to go and see it, because I'm just not going to want to support someone like her though, even though it was a movie that at least from its marketing, like, okay, I actually think this would be interesting, but then
Round 3.
Did you cut out?
then she ended up,
You got cut out for a second.
jump up the rope with us.
Oh, I'm getting punched. What the hell happened?
Oh boy.
Wait,
Got a prowler here.
The trial is
what happened?
1 second.
Oh no.
This time I'm down.
Alright, just relax. I got everything under control.
Great, here we go again.
One prowler left. Stay on your guard.
I'm down.
The ring's closing in 1.
You have fought well, blessed Kmati. Claim the spoils of battle.
Thank you.
It's Duke's the clock.
Don't give me a second.
45 seconds. Rings. I just gotta patch myself up. Hang on.
Ah, shit.
New kill leader. Sending out another me. Damn, he's good looking.
Patching myself up.
There we go. Okay.
On.
Oh god. Oh my god. I was afraid that might go.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
good.
Oh god. I was afraid
What's
that
going on?
I don't know. It never. Oh my god. Okay, you were saying something? That's holy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The lead actress for the Mulan remake, and from what I've heard that the credits actually thank various departments of the that were actually involved in some really nasty stuff with the Uyghur. I am sorry for mispronouncing it. The Muslims, there in China. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I like Disney, but seriously, this is not a good look. I know it's just about business and stuff, but this is.
Check it over there.
Oh my god, it's a mess.
It just was not in good taste, basically.
Yeah.
Looks like a care
Might make sense like years ago, but Yeah, I thought I even saw that coming.
Just a scared.
I mean, we'll just have to go and see how it actually does on Disney Plus, though, to begin with, to go and see if it ends up failing or succeeding.
It's from what I've heard, it's actually doing pretty well, surprisingly, on Disney Plus.
Just kidding.
I haven't seen the numbers, so can't say.
Opening
Yeah,
fire.
Listen up, we're spread out a bit. Watch your maps.
alright, where's the,
And they're hitting me. Down's an enemy.
I was also a little afraid that, that I might have to restart the stream again, but, oh shit, that doesn't seem to be the case. Ow.
Only you and me left. Recharging my shield.
Oof. Oh, you're on your own. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll try to.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm looking at the news on, like, Polygon and stuff. Saw any good stuff on Netflix?
Haven't really kept up with it as of late, though. It's just because, like, between The Boys coming out and watching that, and also because of work, and
How
especially
was The
then-
Boys? Oh, how was The Boys, the second season?
Oh, the first 3 episodes were freaking great. I just definitely love how this is going out, and I can't wait to see how this ends, though. But I'm just not going to say much of it, just so that way I don't end up spoiling with it. But I would say if you have a subscription, definitely go check it out. But it's just that between that, also because I've been dealing with work, and also because next week I start school, so I've been sort of having a lot of stuff on my plate.
Yeah, hopefully you'll still be able to play D&D. At least I made it so that we will all play every other week.
Yeah, hopefully I will still be able to have time for it. It's just because, yeah, my schedule has been pretty occupied, though, which is how I try to keep it to be.
Yeah. Oh, the game that I want to bring up is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, a prequel to Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised. I saw a trailer and it looks really cool. And you know about the backstory of mic problems.
I got your back. Remember me tell you.
There's a one out there waiting for us.
Yeah, so Pika, I wasn't able to hear, Shadowhawk, but...
You better not romp with me.
Yes, yeah, sorry about that, Pika. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, shit.
What happened? Is there something wrong with... Oh, your battery's running out, didn't it? Oh, you're the jump master. Yeah. And
Yeah, it's just that my batteries died, yeah.
yeah, so I got one of the newest game packs for Sims 4 called Star Wars Journey Pack 2. It's very much based off the park stuff from
Traction, Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
Which I was like, alright, I mean, honestly, I don't really see what the bad thing of that is, or could be, from that. And of course, just because that the people who were disliking the sequel trilogy were always just like, oh my god, doing that. Because, of course, what always came before was always the greatest thing. And again, we've been through this horse. We know, through this, we already know what's going to say. Be said.
Yeah, from what I can, I remember someone mentioning that not even George Lucas planned ahead with the prequels.
First blood.
It's no that he hasn't planned that much ahead with the original trilogy, but the prequels, That actually kind of
Again,
surprised me.
it's just always that from this thing, it just strikes me as highly amusing. So it's like, so it never really bothers you in this, nor does it bother you in really any movie series ever. But in this specific trilogy, it bothers you so much. When it's like, again, I want to yell these people's ears. Pro tip, no one does the planning you think that they're supposed to do. And that's because movies can't be planned out that far in advance. Trust me, the people who try, they end up getting too caught up in it. That's what happened with DC, because they were all, oh, hey guys, we gotta make sure we have a super big plan
And the
in
Dark
place
Universe.
that we
Heyo!
Like, hey guys, Darkseid, he's already in here. We're setting him up. Oh, this threat with
Thank
Doomsday and the rest? Oh, this is meant to be a precursor to him. Oh, Steppenwolf, he's a minion of him. Basically, he's Loki if basically Loki was irredeemable. All this other jazz. And then the actual movies that came out were more afterthoughts and were more focused on, please stick around. We promise that interesting stuff will come later, but not focusing on the actual movies themselves.
And Spider-Man, and
Like,
Amazing
I feel
Spider-Man.
like I need to yell these people that if you want to know what the sort of planning you think you want to see happens, that's the DC movies, because those things, if there's one thing they didn't lack, they definitely weren't lacking a whole lot of underlying stuff so that they could use later movies for. Introducing specific characters, having certain moments happen though, like that's why they're like, man, all this happened kind of too fast, like what's going on? And that's because they were wanting to establish, hey, you know, Darkseid's on the horizon and he'll be here very soon because we need our answer to Thanos in this. So they ended up doing that, and again, doing the hyper pre-planning things, being like, oh yeah, we already got the League members we already want by the second movie that this whole thing came out.
Yeah, it's
basically
not,
with this whole
yeah, they
thing.
really rushed through with the planning. Whereas with the Star Wars sequel, it's because Carrie Fisher died.
It seems people often forget that detail with it when it's like, yeah, an actor dying can throw the whole thing out of whack. If they need an example for this, this is what happened with Furious 7 when Paul Walker tragically died in a car accident with his close friend, though. The movie was delayed indefinitely because they wanted permission from his family to see what they wanted to do with it. So they ended up, the family's like, all right, so you can use body doubles and also some CGI to go and fill in for the spots that he was there. And then they had to include an entirely different story where the character was retiring from the action stuff.
Yeah, honestly,
Like, yes, the death of an actor is not this small thing that was like, oh, we didn't plan for it. And the whole, each movie being centered also tells me that it was planned out as well. Because it was like, yes, Han was basically meant to be the center for 7, at least of the OT characters. Luke was 8, and clearly Leia was supposed to be 9. But then she passed away, and then they couldn't really do that plan, at least not without recasting her entirely. And
Or
that
use-
would
or
have
using
been really
CGI.
bad press.
or using CGI. They did
Which
it with
would have also been that super bad, if not worse, than just getting a cast replacement.
Heads up. New kill leader.
Yep. So they did the best that they could. Was honestly using archive footage from cut.
And that one was even more rough though, especially for episode 9, because at least with Furious 7, they actually had most of Paul Walker's scenes already finished. It was like basically some reshooting that they ended up needing to do for the scenes that they needed to touch up on, but at least he was finished. Episode 9 had no footage, really. They had to use Episode 5 footage
7.
and retrofit it. Yeah, I meant to say Episode 7 footage that they basically had to retrofit to the best of their abilities.
Which they pretty much did a pretty good job.
I would say so. So I'm like, yes, this movie definitely had a plan in place, but the problem is that these people have this impression that planning means they're like, oh yeah, we know every little detail that's going to happen from this. It's more of like, okay, when we pre-plan this stuff, we have broad ideas of what we're going to do, and then we'll end up hashing out the specifics when we actually get to said film.
Wait, Pika. So Pika brought up any games that we're looking forward to. Sorry, Pika's sorry.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she asked about any games that I'm looking forward to. Not entirely sure on top of my head. So I've been trying to summon Madan with my brother. Unfortunately, in our first go, we haven't completed it because one of our guys, one of the characters died.
What happened?
So you know the developers who did Until Dawn?
Yes.
They did they're doing an anthology series called The Dark Pictures. First one is Mamadan. It's on Game Pass, as a matter of fact. I'm actually looking forward to its little sequel thing called Little Hope.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had the demo and everything, so once I wrap things up with Mama Dan, I'm thinking of doing like a bit of a second place with you with the with a thing called Curator's Cut. I'll be doing that while you play the first time with the theatrical cut.
I'll try it sometime, but as far as me, like Halo Infinite is definitely one that I'm really looking forward to. I think 3. Wait, what's up?
Sorry, your mic kind of cut off for a sec.
I don't know what's going on. Like my mic is connected.
I just hope it's not something on my end.
But anyway, so yeah, so for me anyway, main thing was that at least for me, it was basically I was saying with Halo Infinite. Like, even though for me, Halo 4 and 5 were not games that I liked very much, I still am always willing to give studios the benefit of the doubt, especially when I think that they have something, when they're planning stuff really special. Because, especially for me, I really fucking hate how a lot of acting under this impression that how the studio's name influences how the game is going to turn out in one direction or another.
Oh. Anything you have in mind? I got you. And, okay.
Hey, here.
I can hear you fine.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Alright, just being sure. I have to turn my game volume down. But, I was saying, yeah, because, like, I remember when a video where she was just covering the details of the Xbox Series S and X and what her thoughts were on it, and in one of the recommended tabs for it was from Greg Miller, who's he used to be at IGN, and he's done a lot of things with Rooster Teeth, as well as also with Kinda Funny, as well as also other stuff, though. And so, like, in that, the title was, Is 343 right for the job? And admittedly, and for me, even to him, I think the guy is cool, but I feel like I'd want to go to, like, get him to his ear and be like, stop fucking thinking that a company's name influences it. No, if Microsoft decided to basically completely scrap 343 Industries, like tear that entire studio to the ground and rebuild it as Sergeant Johnson's Bravo company, no, you are not going to get wildly different games. Focus on the talent that's actually behind the games, not what fucking studio head that they're under. It's always something I'm so annoyed by, because no, it's not basically that the reason why a game was better because of the studio that itself, it was the people that were working on it. It's the same shit that annoyed me with Spider-Man PS4, with fucking Angry Joe especially being like, oh, it became super good because Activision wasn't involved with it. No, because it's like, no, first of all, Spider-Man PS4 is a first-party game. Its entire purpose is selling consoles. It is not really, doesn't much care about how many copies it sells, because if the systems are selling well, it's doing well.
Yep.
So really, it has one major benefit that the Activision games didn't have. Two, the problem also is not really with that, though. It was that Insomniac had a lot of really talented developers, and they managed to make a great game out of that. Mm-hmm. If they were under Activision, it would have been pretty much the exact same scenario.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, I'm so annoyed by that talking point by people who think, though, that somehow the fucking studio that is worked under means that if they got rid of someone else, it would be different. No, it's all about the talent that's working behind it. If something isn't really going to be likely, actually writing it. Like, yeah, I didn't like writing these storytelling style very much, because I personally just felt that... Wait, give me 1 second.
Alright, you good? Ooh! So I got the new skin for We gotta check it out. Okay, so what I get? Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Nope.
Okay, I'm back. Just had to help my mom with her suitcase.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Heard any news? Because I have lost my train of thought.
Really, there hasn't been anything other than really the Xbox stuff that's came out, which is certainly very expansive though on it. It's just that it's just so surprising that Sony has been very tight-lipped, because aside from that one live stream they did, I think was like a couple months ago, where they were like, oh yeah, here's all the games we're bringing, but we don't know anything else. We don't know the price of the PS5, because yes, that's very important. I need to know what I'm spending on it. I'm guessing $600, but it could also be $500 to be competitive with the Xbox Series X. So wondering on that, and even still that they don't really seem though, and it's like, guys, you've only got like a month and a half. If you got anything else you need to say,
do it. Just do it.
Better say it now.
Yeah, because the Xbox Series X costs $500. The S version costs $300. Yeah.
And apparently the PS5 will also be having a digital-only version, which I presume will be something that will be in competition with it.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards the Series X myself.
It's just basically a question of like, all right, so like, when the fuck are they gonna go and just say something on it? Because it's like, yes, for it, especially so I know what to actually get. Because like for me, the PS5, the Spider-Man first thing, there's probably going to be a bundle for it, and I'll definitely try to nab that if I can. But I think also 600, we're in a downed economy, so it'll also be something where I can actually manage to do.
Can't believe Trump, that asshole, decides to downplay it not to cause panic. Well, it did the exact opposite, jackass. And you pretty much ruined my mother's life, and he pretty much ruined my mom's life. Thank you very much.
Why? Because she's working in the hospital?
No, because medicine that she needs, hydrochloroquine.
Uh-huh.
She realized on that. He really fucking advocated that it's a cure for COVID, which is not. So yeah, it's kind of personal.
Definitely. So it's just that with that being there though, and definitely also just because a lot of fucking stupidity around this virus though, when it's just like it's just very easy stuff that's being asked of us. So like, please stop. Especially when we don't need to. Let's at least wait for better stuff that can vaccinate instead of trying to like freaking throw everything that could be seen as a cure and just hope it sticks. Especially because these are very life-saving medications too.
And reference you for vaccination. Sorry, I was eating some cereal.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's like, and especially because with this economy down, and obviously that's made it harder a lot of other things. I mean, even like, because like I work at Universal, so definitely when witnessing what the parks were doing, especially this past Labor Day weekend, where we actually got filled to our 50% capacity limits, and so during that, it made me have sort of a small like dark joke that's like, man, with all this, you could almost forget that there was an economic crisis going on, almost.
Oh boy, next ring's far.
Like, glad that we're wearing masks, but I don't know if the masks will be able to handle that many people being bunched up together at the same time. Because really, unless the parks are almost borderline empty, you can't socially distance very well.
Yeah, so masks is the only way to go right now. Just
So I just have to truck on through, but admittedly, I'm also making more money than ever with the parks being reopened. Whereas before, I was only making like 160 every month. Not every month, every week. Whereas now I make like freaking 400.
Nice. Still, it's...
So, like, for me, it's a double-edged sword. Like, on the one hand, it's not safe to be doing all this, but on the other, I'm also making much more money, and that's allowing me to do the things that I currently can do at the moment.
Oh, speaking of COVID, so Christopher Nolan has had Tenet be released in movie theaters.
And even for what they were projecting for COVID, it's still not doing too well.
Yeah, I think it had gotten about 20 million on opening weekend. Opening day.
And they were expecting, I think, it's either 30 or 40 million. I mean, because there was no way they were going to get their initial estimates with the COVID stuff going on. It's just something that wasn't going to be done. For me, I'm probably going to watch Tenet closer to when it gets pulled from theaters, because then way less people go in, because I only went to a movie theater once. It was like, I think 2 or 3 months ago, where I watched Terminator 2 on the local movie theater near me, where they were putting it as one of those classic throwback movies. And so, like, at least watching it, it was safe enough to where at least I wasn't concerned about my safety. There were some other people in the auditorium, but they were spaced out from me, and at least I didn't mind it. But if it wasn't something like even the 30-40% capacity that they would do for something like Tenet or the New Mutants, I don't think
I heard that. Oh yeah, the New Mutants. It did really shitty at both reception and the box office. Because have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes score for it? Holy shit.
I haven't, but honestly, I don't really pay attention to it because a lot of people just use it for stupid reasons.
Yeah. Not many people like it. Not a lot of people like it. And one of the characters...
That's kind of the impression I was thinking.
Yeah, and one of the characters in that movie, actually, decided is being racist towards another character who is Native American.
Oh, that's just great.
Yeah. The fuck was Josh thinking?
And, I don't know which Josh we're referring to here.
The director, Josh Brooks. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Wake up, ring's moving.
New
that thing
Mutants,
hurts.
Josh Boone, and just the first thing that came out on yeah, for a second, I thought it said like New Mutants racist because one of the Sunspot, I believe, has this race change from a Brazilian, Afro-Brazilian to a more of a white, who's white. Because the director thinks that racism is an issue.
He doesn't think it's an issue.
According to the interview, yes.
Oh, that's just great.
That's what I
was gonna watch it out of curiosity, but honestly, I'll probably just do. Well, honestly, the movie's not gonna do too well, so even if I see it, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, well, and this guy worked on The Fault in Our Stars. By the way, I read the book like years ago, and once I reached the end, I cried because it's really heartfelt.
Yeah. This is always why you gotta make sure you have a lot of people go around to go and look at your stuff. Always.
Yeah. Also, speaking of stuff, so the Academy has released a set of rules that films had to apply it for the Oscars. Basically, like encouraging the movies, not only you read the guidelines for it, trying to
I know. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we're getting shot at, and we're encouraging filmmakers to diversify their crew and on as well. That's just the long and short of it. So people have pointed out that that the Green Book, the one that is for a lot of reasons, such as your typical white savior stuff.
For which story?
Green Book.
Oh yeah, that one I remembered.
Yeah, that the Green Book has failed at all that criteria, and people were not happy with that movie for good reason.
Yeah, and honestly, from what I saw of it, it was something I wasn't really wanting to do, and now for me, I'm even more pissed, though, that it ended up getting Best Picture, because at least from what I saw of it, it definitely looks like it was just a very, as you said, a very white savior-esque, oh, hey, like, black
pat
people...
Pat yourself in the back, people. Pat yourself on the back. Yes, progress has been made. You just have some things to go. Yes, just saying.
Yeah.
It's the difference between having no racism at all and making progress. We're definitely in the latter, if you ask me. Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just, saying something on Discord.
Oh, what's going on Discord?
Just basically saying to Wolfgabe, the person there, because he seems to be unsure. I'm just basically saying that was the Incredible Hulk TV show that
I commented it was the 70s. They're weird.
Honestly, the show wasn't even that weird for the most part, though. I mean, it's something you can watch straight.
Yeah, you can watch it straight, but the Hulk threw the guy in a bear suit. Out of context, it would look weird. So in the Star Wars expansion for The Sims 4, I had one of my Sims who joined up with the First Order just to see what it would be like. I had to walks up to Rey to check for her ID, and immediately when I do the action as he approaches her, my trick. And he was forced to walk away to the nearest cantina. In contrast, I had a couple Sims who, one Sim who's more of a smuggler, who's going with the smugglers, and the other, the Resistance. They decide to confront Kylo Ren, and they got a face full of a Force Low.
Interesting.
It's funny. The Sims is whack.
I imagine.
Oh, my leg fell asleep. Oh. Okay. Unlocking this. Nice. Hey, 3 out of 4 daily challenges for today. Any other games you're looking forward to aside from Halo Infinite?
Mainly just that and the Miles Morales game, though, and obviously Squadrons coming out very early next month. Just really only those 3 games.
Oh yeah, Squadrons! Oh god, I'm gonna be spending a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I already have it pre-ordered, so I'm just waiting for them to basically charge that in. And then after I basically already have it planned out on launch day, I'm going to be getting myself a large Domino's pizza. I'll be having some Mountain Dew ready, and then I'll just be playing and eating.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a great time.
I'm also looking forward to Little Hope, which is coming out on Halloween. Fittingly, it's on October 30th to be exact. It's around Halloween.
Yeah.
Listen and fight.
You ever heard of a game called Quantum Break? Made the same people who did
what?
Quantum Break, made by the same people who did. Oh, and here's
oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, the actor for the main character plays one of the characters in Man of Medan. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. and my brother gets a
Hey, come back
little
if you're looking
pandemic
for a
about about me
That's where you
pronouncing some
fight 3
words.
of me at once.
Yeah.
Look, English is hard.
Dropping in. Hang on.
No, it's pretty hard. Yeah.
Oh, so one of the new lines that Revenant says is, healing, be my shield skin bag. And to be, and it sounds like a bit of a reference to his voice actor's role as Reinhardt from Overwatch. It was that, don't worry, my friends, I am your shield. Just point out the cute reference.
Oh, got an LMG, so at least I got something.
Okay, and ooh, I got a good shotgun.
First blood. First blood. Should have seen that coming.
Yeah, so yeah, massive incinerator rounds can go wrong here.
No, you can't.
Ah, finally a treasure pack. Nice. Oh, have you beaten Fallout 76 Wastelanders yet?
Yeah, I did all the main quests and stuff, so I'm just waiting for the Brotherhood of Steel quest to start. I think will be next month. I'm just waiting for those to start, and then I'll be jumping right back in because I'm really interested to see how that story plays out. I pretty much missed all of the Fortifying Atlas rewards that they did because I was just always too busy with a whole bunch of other stuff to log in. I just hope they'll bring those items back at a later date, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, same.
I just don't like rewards that are like that, mainly just because of the fact that, especially if you're busy, you can't really keep up with getting them.
Yeah, on the other hand, but it does drive in engagement.
It certainly does, though, and I don't fault them for that. It's just more like a personal thing with it because, like, especially when a lot of these rewards were going on, like, or at least some of them, I was actually on a vacation with friends, and I was just too busy to really, to go and be able to go and grab it. So I ended up just kind of being left in the dirt for it, really.
Yeah. Astef and Art.
So it's like, I don't fault them for that. I totally understand why. It's just more like, it kind of sucks for it. But
Yeah,
I
missed out on the
so.
good-looking Under Armour theme for Fallout 76 and 76. Part of, I believe, was the event for its Battle Royale mode. Not sure.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it, that looks good. Fuck, I missed it.
But overall, it was just some cosmetic items, so it wasn't anything too crazy that I was missing out on. I just wanted the beret and the fatigues that they had.
Yeah, the beret that fatigues can be claimed used to be claimable in the Atomic Store.
Rings close.
Interesting.
45 seconds.
On to actually some personal stuff. I sent you some stuff for my writing. How between a bit of
I didn't get a chance to read it yet because again, I just sort of like saw that you sent a message, but I didn't actually read the stuff yet because again, just been very busy, especially as of late.
Yeah, so I had one of the main characters, Zachary Turner, meeting not Ultron for the first time in an extra chat while he was being hospitalized.
Get back over here, or I'll kill you myself.
Yeah, Revenant, you're such a friendly guy. I would love to hang out with you.
Wait, what?
I'm being sarcastic about Revenant because
we're all outside the ring. Can't kill.
Oh, Revenant. Okay, I only just heard Revenant, and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I kind of wish I had Winston Snark on with us because he would love to hear about not only the price arrangements for the Xbox Series X, but also the Legend of Zelda: Age of Calamity. Sorry, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. It's a canonical prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Heads up. Care package
You know about Dynasty Warriors and stuff?
Yeah, I remember that game. That game was really fun.
Yeah, they did Hyrule Warriors. We released a couple times. Once for the 3DS and a definite version of it for the Switch. My brother and I have it. No, my brother has completed the story mode and is trying to do with adventure mode. You can imagine how fun that is. Tap. Okay, I'm good here. Like, my brother has to ask me for like more difficult, for difficult missions. Well, missions that are more difficult for single player. On the other hand, if it's 2 players like playing the game, it was usually a lot easier. No line as far as I can tell. Yeah, and as for the Age of Calamity prequel, definitely am looking forward to it. I think I sent a link of the trailer to my brother.
It's just I'm just mainly happy with this whole with everything that the Xbox is doing just for crossplay, because at least it allows it to where my friend who's largely a PC gamer, well, exclusively at this point, because that's what he ends up playing. Where for us, it allows us to basically go in and start being able to play games with each other. Like when Black Ops Cold War comes out this year, it'll actually come out on the 13th. I'm going to be picking that up, so that way me and my best friend, though, can also go and start playing games together, which we haven't done in 10 years. Like, holy shit, that was so long ago.
I remember, do you think I joke about, like, joking about, like, when you pick the classified option instead of male or female, that I'll basically be playing...
I think it's goofy and trying to do that, but I'm kind of just like, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, what, do I can like imagine myself playing like like one of Bloodhound's ancestors or something? Probably a bit of a tasteless joke.
It just has a very like, okay, that's just a kind of like goofy way of trying to say it, but okay.
Goofy, probably badass, and probably a little tasteless, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm just kind of on that sort of mood. It's kind of like whatever. So that's what it's just that we're looking forward to, because the games are still fun to play for the multiplayer anyway. And it's just definitely being able to play with my friend again. That's something that's more than worth for me picking up the game.
Oh, and you mentioned that you're also interested in getting the Avengers game. Yeah, the Avengers game. I feel like I've looked up an article that...
I plan on, but it just depends on how my finances look through this year. I'm sure I will get it, but it may be at the latest by next year, because there's also the fact of the matter that, aside from... Oh shit, behind us.
Shit!
Yeah. Oh shit, sniper.
Oh, my brother is dropping in, from my room. Ow. Anyway,
Pick me up.
Healing up. Eyes are open though.
Okay, so yeah, damn it. No, Nicholas,
Damn it! I fucking ran out of ammo.
Oh.